Hey, Loco sports fans. Happy Wednesday night. Welcome to the Loco Sports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett, joined by Marcus Walsh and an image of Max Araj, who is driving in his car across that big Broad River Bridge, headed back from Beaufort. Joining us remotely, and Wes Kerr will be joining us in progress tonight. He had other business to tend to, but plans to join us before the proceedings have finished. And the proceedings have not yet finished for tonight because we are going
Wild.
to extra innings in the tank.
Oh,
Beaufort, winless in the region, came to fight tonight against May River, which leads the region, or technically, I guess, is a half game back at the moment because Hilton Head won tonight against Bluffton. Sharks were down, but not out. They were down 7-4. They rallied back to get to 7-6. Then Beaufort scored one in the seventh, make it 8-6. May River with two in the bottom half. So they're going to force extra innings over there. And Derek Blessy, the freshman, on the mound for May River as they take the field in the eighth. I was over there earlier. It's chilly. Mullis said to tell the people he was wearing every stitch of clothing he owns, which is
it's
an exaggeration because it's Mullis, but it's pretty chilly out there.
it's crazy. It's crazy at this point in the year how chilly it is really this week. I mean, I don't remember it being this chilly at this point last year.
No, definitely not last year. But think about it. There have been some pretty cold Heritage weeks.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So it's not.
This is the norm.
Well, really, yeah, it's the norm to kind of go back and forth, be all over the place. So, but it's definitely chilly out there tonight. So we'll see what takes place over there at the tank. I'll keep an eye on that on the game changer. We've got all the other scores from the area from both last night and tonight scrolling across the bottom of your screen. So that'll help you get a little caught up on what's happening. And we'll talk a little bit about USCB, both baseball and softball. Baseball with a player of the week nod for Gundelfinger. That was cool to see.
Yeah.
Softball, you were saying, Max, you got a huge series this weekend that you'll be calling USCB in Middle Georgia. We'll wait probably till Wes joins us to really dig deep into the Sandshark softball stuff, but it's a big week for them as they try to solidify that spot in the Peach Belt Conference tournament. And lots of high school spring sports. But what's been happening with you guys? How you doing over there, Marcus?
Doing really well. Obviously, I mentioned the other night leading into to Saturday with Sam getting her sacraments and us getting 1 inch closer to wedding day for next year. Still, obviously, a lot to take place from now until then. But obviously, leading into Easter Sunday, very busy week last week, but a very blessed week for sure. And congrats to all those that received their sacraments last Saturday night. I was, blessed and honored to be a part of it. Doing a bunch of stuff, kind of administrative stuff, helping Jessa out at WHHI lately. So more coming on that, but that's really been a lot of what I've been up to in terms of that. And certainly once we finish up some class stuff, and I've been singing a bunch too. Once we finish all that stuff up within the next couple of weeks, I plan to go out and see a little baseball and softball on the high school level, predominantly with JP2. But had a great performance yesterday. Was part of the Symphony Under the Stars performance over at Celebration Park, celebrating the 250th year of us being a nation, and that was amazing. Had some great soloists and whatnot, and have an opera performance on Sunday, so a Saturday rehearsal for that and whatnot. So I'm still all over the place in terms of things, but never a dull moment, guys.
Yeah, you are a busy man. You get to more places than I do, I think, and I get around pretty good. So you stay hopping. Max Raj, what's up, buddy? How you doing over there?
Well, obviously, I was out all last week. I've been extremely busy, getting a lot of stuff put together, with jobs and everything, and just really now in the high gear for spring season over at Beaufort County Parks and Rec. We're fully in there now. This is the first week that we've had all of soccer, baseball, and flag football going all at the same time. So it's been a very busy week that we've been preparing for the last couple weeks. So I do apologize for not being on the show last week. Of course, that first show last week celebrating my birthday, so spending time with some family and whatnot. So, but otherwise, it's been a really, really exciting time, and obviously very exciting getting ready for the RBC Heritage next week. It's going to be should be a lot of fun next week over in Sea Pines. So it's going to be a blast, and of course it's Masters Week, so there's a lot going on, and obviously there. Already that I'll talk about later, but some exciting stuff that I watched last night that I'm sure you guys might get a whiff of if you're a Braves fan. We can talk about that later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I need
absolutely.
to see what the heck happened. Holy
MMA
crap.
fight. They went down. The Braves were throwing down last
I'll
night.
go over there. There's something real.
You're breaking up on us there, man. Yeah, we'll look forward to that in part of the you're breaking up on us as you go through the abyss over there between Beaufort and Bluffton, or Beaufort and Okatee. Beaufort's still batting top of the eighth, 2 outs, runner on third. So the Sharks trying to wiggle off the hook here and have a chance to win it in the bottom of the eighth. Seeing some you mentioned flag football, Max, and that made me think of something that we should discuss tonight, because it looks like there is going to be
briefly the other night.
Well, I saw, we started talking about how it was coming, and then I've seen more and more information coming out about the fact that Beaufort County schools will have girls flag football next fall.
Real deal.
And they're putting together a Beaufort County League. Jasper, at Hardyville, we put out an interest survey this week asking students if they were interested in girls flag football and girls tennis. So we're going to see what we get back on that. So it sounds like Hardyville may be moving toward girls flag football as well. This thing is coming, and it's coming fast.
To piggyback off that.
Look at Go ahead, Margaret.
All right. To piggyback off that real quick, it wasn't the only thing that I talked about with Rip Ripley, but I did have a conversation with him during basketball season, getting ready for HHCA and JP2, in particularly to get an idea of what HHCA and SCISA looks like with girls basketball. And he said, with a lot of the girls having responsibilities around home and looking to do other things, especially athletically, he said volleyball is a big thing and flag football is a big thing. And he gave me, I know I've said this before, but Rick gave me a half hour on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, he is
Good
just
dude.
phenomenal, a great guy. Don't know him super well, but I know him well enough. If ever I had a chance to meet him in person, I'm just going to go up to him and just shake his hand and say, thank you for your time, giving me a little bit of the background, because it's just amazing the knowledge that he has. Obviously, I'm around Wayne Morris when he's in this area as well, and Wayne hiring me at WHHI all those years ago. He's got a bunch of knowledge too, but that is a real deal. And the fact that we talked about it on Friday and now more information has come out does not surprise me. So we'll just have to see what happens in the interim right now and how things kind of shake out, especially as far as those winter sports are involved when the time comes.
Well, and the biggest thing would be we see what it's like in Georgia. I mean, flag football in Georgia is an officially sanctioned sport in the Georgia High School League, and they have well over, I think, 150 schools that have flag football teams throughout the state of Georgia, if not more. So like it's big in Georgia, and it's creeping up through South Carolina. But the other thing now is that it's going to be an officially sanctioned sport at the college level, and so colleges are now adding on flag football teams. I saw a school I was at before I dropped out during COVID, Charleston Southern. They've just added a flag football program for girls, among other schools around the Big South Conference, schools in the ACC, the SEC. They're all adding these programs on. So it's now becoming very quickly a pipeline for high school teams,
Yep.
for high schools to add flag football teams, giving women an opportunity to maybe play a sport that they would love to play at the next level.
Yeah, and it's so new that it's not like you're having to try to break in against all these kids that have been doing it their whole lives.
No.
You know, like
No.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for girls who are just good athletes to go and you know, learn the finer points of it, and really have an opportunity to, I mean, like you said, there's going to be programs popping up right and left, so there's going to be all kinds of scholarship opportunity, and who knows? I mean, with the Olympics adding flag football, that's coming. You know, when it comes,
Yeah, that's right.
The next Olympics. So you know, I think it's ripe to kind of blow up here, and it's cool. Like, I mean, how often do we see like a whole new sport kind of come to fruition? This doesn't happen.
And the thing is, I wouldn't put it past both SCISA and the South Carolina High School League in the next couple of years to make that an official sport.
The high school league may already be moving toward that.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised by that. I mean, with how fast this sport is growing, it's a lot like women's wrestling. That is a sport that's growing like a weed. I mean, it is growing fast, and it's almost to the point where you can't not have a league within the South Carolina High School League as well as SCISA. I think it's inevitable for these sports conferences in South Carolina to add flag football as an official sport.
I wonder how quick SCISA will be to jump on it, just because you're dealing with really small schools, and
there's been enough schools that used to do or still do to this day the powder puff football, which is essentially
but what I'm saying is, like,
and I've been doing it for years.
At the smaller schools, you'd have to be careful because you're going to cannibalize your volleyball program, and you don't want
that is true. That's a good point.
You don't want to not be able to field a team. So, you know, I mean, those are the kind of considerations you have to make at really small schools, and we'll see what that looks like. You know, maybe you can do both. You know, but that's hard. It's really hard to be good at both. If you can't go to, you can only go to one practice at a time, you know, so that's kind of hard. But no, it's coming. And Daniel Bryan from Thomas Hayward, football coach, he hit me up and said, "Hey, I saw you share something about girls flag football. The girls at Thomas Hayward are asking about it, and SCISA hasn't said anything yet."
That was one of the teams
that was some of the schools are very interested in it.
Well, that was like when I was mentioning powder puff, that's exactly who I was thinking of. Thomas Hayward's had powder puff football for as long as I can remember. Forever, really. I mean, Hilton Head Christian Academy did as well.
Game this year. I got to be the ref for the powder puff game this year. It was fun as hell.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was way fun. But yeah, that's coming. And again, I think we've mentioned it before, but it's on the short list of the next sports coming to USCB as well, which obviously when they're finished with their athletic director search, that will probably we'll have a better idea after we hear from a new AD about you know, their priorities, what's actually going to come next. But it sounded like, you know, women's wrestling was kind of backburnered, but it was volleyball and women's flag football, and what was the other one?
Yeah, you would have to think volleyball and beach volleyball, especially around here. You thought it would be
they've already got sand pits on campus too. Like
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense to launch one without the other, I don't think.
Right.
You just prioritize one or the other, but
completely agree.
I think you got to have both. Because if you got, like, you know, a dozen girls that play volleyball, you got a dozen girls that play volleyball. So like, you just say it's kind of like indoor and outdoor track. Why would you not do both if you got track athletes?
Exactly.
So we are into the ninth now at the Tank, still 8-8 in the ninth. A Donnybrook deep into the night over at May River. Show brought to you tonight by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV. Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, been with us since the beginning. They loved what we were doing, trying to shine a light on our local teams and athletes, specifically our Diamond Youth now, Dixie Youth All-Star teams. That's what got Ryan's attention, and they've been with us ever since. They can help you with all your legal needs in downtown Bluffton, but they are our official real estate closing attorney because they are the best in the business when it comes to that. And they're also presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. And speaking of Hilton Head Christian, I'm going to tell you about their soccer teams after the break.
Yeah.
And Marcus Walsh, WHHI TV's very own Marcus Walsh, joining us tonight on the show. Our great partners in local sports over at WHHI. Love what you guys do as far as shining a light on the community and just great community journalism. And we're proud to be a part of your team and have you as part of ours. WHHI TV, our all-star sponsor.
And ask for better partners.
Yeah, man.
Thank you,
Likewise. But no, I said Hilton Head Christian Soccer, they had a big night tonight, Max. I don't know if you saw the scores yet, but
No, I haven't.
the girls 4-0 over Hilton Head Prep, and
Wow.
the boys 3-0 over Hilton Head Prep. So good night for Eagles
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah.
And again, that's a very good Hilton Head Prep team for the boys and girls, for that matter. Both those
Especially the
prep
girls.
teams are very strong. Boys team has been strong this year too. Obviously, I know very well the head coach of the boys team, of course, Lucas O'Grady, who's done a fantastic job turning that program around. Obviously, state runner-ups last season. Definitely eyeing a state championship this year. So that's a very solid Hilton Head Prep program that Hilton Head Christian boys and girls have taken down tonight. And so it makes you keep an eye on both of those teams, because usually Hilton Head Christian over the years has had some solid programs, obviously, with the 2 state championships in a row back in the late 2010s. Of course, when I was in high school, with Lucas O'Grady on that team as the goalie for them for those 2 state titles. So these are 2 programs in Hilton Head Prep and Hilton Head Christian for both guys and girls that have had really solid soccer programs over the years. And, that boys program is now just getting back to the form that they were way back in the day. So it's great to see these 2 going at it. But, that's some really impressive wins for the Eagles tonight.
Yeah, the girls one kind of stunned me a little bit just because
that stunned me too. Because I know. I've been hearing that the girls team for Hilton Head Christian has been pretty solid this year. I just didn't know how solid they were until you shared that score with me tonight against Hilton Head Prep.
So, I think a little bit of that is I've been tracking their scores, obviously, and they're 7-4 and they're 5-3 in regions. So it just doesn't jump out at you. But then you look closer and you're like, okay, they lost to Porter-Gaud twice. Porter-Gaud's number 15 in the nation.
Yes.
They lost to JP2, a tough 2-0 match. And then they lost 2-1 in overtime to Pinewood. So when you think about what those losses are, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, some really solid losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
really,
that Porter,
really
you mentioned that Porter-Gaud team. I've seen some footage of them. They are ridiculously good, and for a good reason why they're one of the top 25 teams in the country right now. And they're no joke. They're really good.
And I think they're number 2 ranked team in the state in Max Preps behind Wando. So,
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, they're legit. The HHCA team is looking really solid. And I was looking at the rankings. HHCA girls 3rd in Class 4A behind Porter-Gaud and Ben Lippen. 3A is like all our teams. Hilton Head Prep is up there. Let me see here. I was looking at them earlier and I was like, holy cow, Lowco's looking good in the skis of soccer. But also weirdness. 3A JP2 is number 1, Hilton Head Prep's number 4. And then here's the craziest part. I don't know if this is really the only teams that there are, but there's only 3 teams listed in the skis of 2A rankings. BA, wow. Patrick Henry, and Colleton Prep.
What?
And then in the 1A, there's only 2 teams, Cambridge Academy and Charleston Collegiate. So we're going to have
we know the state championship matchups.
The state championship game in skis of 1A.
Wow.
I got a bit of a kick out of that. I was like, hold up, wait. First, second, and third. Oh, well, that's all the teams.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And then on the guys' side, let's see here. Hilton Head Christian boys ranked 4th. JP2 still undefeated, ranked 1st in. Do they not have no? There's no 4A boys soccer.
There should be.
That's wild.
Oh yeah, there it is. Never mind. I didn't
I
see
was
it
about to
there,
say, I
but
was
I
like, there's
guess,
no way.
but none of our schools are 4A in boys sports.
No, because it's
Yeah.
like football for boys soccer.
Right.
It's based off of
Right.
how many boys are
Yeah.
at the school.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Cross boys are ranked 2nd and BA 3rd and Skiza 2A. So they could end up Hilton Head Prep 7th, Patrick Henry 8th. And Skiza
Actually-
1A. Charleston Collegiate sitting at 0-7 is ranked 1st and last in Skiza 1A boys soccer.
Oh, that's funny. Good old skis can't go wrong. Oh my gosh. Actually, speaking of cross, it's funny because, of course, myself and Wes Kerr, we were at Richard Gray Sports Complex yesterday watching and covering USCB softball as they took on Edward Waters, and we'll talk about that later when Wes gets here. But on the field adjacent to it, right next to it, was cross softball taking on Hilton Head Prep the other day, and varsity softball while we were playing our USCB games. So it was fun to see some high school softball taking place right across at Richard Gray. So it was a busy day yesterday over at the home for USCB.
I think. Yeah, they beat Hilton Head Prep 16-1. And then Hilton Head Prep tonight, big win for them. They beat HHCA 19-18.
Wow.
That's a battle.
What a battle. What a battle.
Our JV lost a tough one last night, 20-19. The team beat us 20-1 the last time. They beat us 20-19.
Hey, that's good though. That's great.
They didn't pitch their best pitcher this time.
Yeah, but it's pretty impressive.
But they had to put her in the last inning to make sure they didn't lose, and we still scored 2 against her.
Hey, that's an improvement right there.
It was an extremely promising outing from the JV girls, and they were pretty hype after. It's good to see them.
I'm gonna hop off here, fellas, because I just got home, and I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
That's good.
They are into the bottom of the 9th now at May River. Sharks going to try once again to walk it off here in the 9th inning. UC scores scrolling. Other baseball tonight, Hilton Head beat Bluffton 11-5, so they keep pace and could actually move ahead of May River in the standings if the Sharks are not able to pull this off. Hilton Head Prep, they routed Peachtree Academy the last 2 days, beat them 10-2 yesterday, 15-1 today. We won't even talk about that. Some good softball tonight. May River Bluffton game was really competitive early. Sharks ended up blowing it open 14-4, and Beaufort with a tough 5-2 win over Hilton Head. And I mentioned HHPA. They went for 2. HHPA went for 2, 19-18 over HHCA. So exciting battle. They went all 7, which is wild. That game probably took a good while. And then the soccer scores, HHCA sweeping from Hilton Head Prep tonight. Although I did have one of the scores wrong. I had 3-0 on the boys, and it looks like it was 3-1. So I have corrected that on my end and should be on the ticker as well. Baseball last night, Low Country Leadership blowing out Battery Creek. Savannah Jaguars blew out Beaufort Academy. Mentioned Hilton Head Prep. Cross boys baseball, they got a win 14-8 over Step of Faith. And HHCA stayed hot 15-0 over Northside Christian. Mentioned Cross softball beat Hilton Head Prep. BA soccer over Cross on the girls' side 7-0. Cross boys beat BA 2-1, so that explains why they're ranked 2nd and BA 3rd. And May River boys still rolling 6-0 over South Effingham. So that's some of what's been going on. Monday night baseball, May River beat Beaufort, Hilton Head beat Bluffton. So Seahawks now have 2 in hand, trying for the sweep on Friday against Bluffton. Sharks have a runner on first, nobody out, and now runners on first and second after an error, nobody out. So it's looking good for the Sharks to maybe walk this thing off and stay atop the region standing. Speaking of Sharks, big night for their lacrosse teams on Monday as well. Boys 14-1 over Savannah Christian, girls 17-5, and both those teams have been red hot. And the Bluffton boys lacrosse 11-5 over South Effingham on Monday, getting a win as well. So there you go. That's some of what's been going on this week. And let's see what's happening in your neck of the woods. I felt like I was Willard Scott right there.
Yeah, good old Al Roker. That's right.
But yeah, that's what's been happening. What's happening with you?
It's fast and furious. I mean, it's crazy just how fast this regular season of spring sports has gone. And like I said, I'm looking forward, in the next week or so to actually be able to see my first bit of it, wherever I can. Definitely want to check out some of the JP2 stuff with the baseball team and softball team. It's just been obviously a really busy spring for me, coming off a basketball season, which obviously was extended as far as it was. And that's the crazy thing, just anywhere, but let alone here with the popularity of a whole bunch of sports. But I view really the major four: football, basketball, baseball, and softball, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. It's been wild, but I've been able to kind of certainly lean on you guys to get an idea of what's going on, and I've been talking to some folks and already trying to gain a few storylines for later on in this calendar year, on things, in addition to everything else that I've been keeping you abreast of what I've been doing. But it's a great time of year. The weather's been terrific. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler right now, especially with the wind, but this is what we're used to this time of year, especially those of us that have lived on Hilton Head too for a while, in our 10 years here in South Carolina. It's easy to be in the 60s and whatnot with a breeze off the ocean, but nothing quite like it. I mean, it's a great time of year. We've got the Heritage next week. It's Masters Week. Baseball is alive and well in all facets, and it's an awesome time. Just got to get that pollen to officially evacuate our area, because just when we think it's done, it comes back.
Boy, this weather has been wild too. It's just all over the place. From 90 one day to 65 the next,
right?
Over and over again. I was gonna do something silly, but I'll just do it this way. I'll just say, "Da Yankee lose." The Yankees lost 3-2 to the Athletics.
Wow.
And the bases.
Don't call them Sacramento. That's what some
the Athletics. The
Athletics.
geographically nondescript Athletics.
That's right.
The unhoused Athletics. So Sharks have the bases loaded with one out. They tried to squeeze it home, but they were able to get the force at the plate. And now the 9-hitter Blessy, the freshman up there, he's pitched 2 great innings to keep him in this game and extras. And now he's got a chance to win it, chance to walk it off with the bases loaded. But he's down to his last strike. And he's done it. Blessy has done it. He singles to right. Sharks win 9-8.
Awesome.
I'll be flying the W in the tank. Tough loss for Buford, man. They deserved to get a win tonight. The way they played, really scrappy effort from those guys. They'll be 0-8 now in region.
That's a tough thing, certainly. But when you've got those
it's crazy
matchups, somebody's got to
go down. The
games
have been so close, so close, and they just can't get over the hump. They're 0-10 now overall, and 0-8 in region. But like their games, Bishop England, they lost a 1-run game, then 6-0, then 11-7. Hilton Head, they lost 11-5, and then they got blown out 12-0 and 10-0. First game against May River 4-1, second one 9-8. So, it's the margins are pretty narrow. But yeah, they're on the schneid right now, and they didn't play like a team that was winless. They were playing with a lot of swagger and confidence tonight. But young teams figuring out how to close those games out, and they weren't able to do it in that seventh inning, and then Sharks get it done in the ninth. So May River stays on top along with Hilton Head, and going to be a good race to the finish in that league. You definitely got to get out and check out some of this league, this baseball league. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
some pretty good players.
As we know for sure in other sports as well, those types of environments and those types of moments, you just kind of throw the records out the window, especially if you're a young team, and just try to get after it as best you can. Those moments will help those kids down the line next year, year after, as everybody gets older and more kids come into the pipeline. That's what it's all about, especially with a young team growing it from the ground up, from the top up to the ground up, if you will, with great coaching and whatnot. I'm hoping that Beaufort will be starting to get some wins here soon, and certainly feeling better and getting some results. Yeah. That's what needs to happen. But just keep getting it after it, guys.
Yeah, it's been tough for them right now, but they're grinding. Young fellas, they'll be fine. And they do have Bluffton and Colleton coming up, and those are the teams on kind of the bottom half of the standings with them. So I think the schedule didn't do them any favors, having to open with Bishop England, Hilton Head, and May River, which just happen to be
tough.
The top three teams in the standings right now. So, that's how it goes. They'll be able to rally and get some wins here toward the end, and they're young, so they'll be back next year. We're going to talk USCB, but we'll hold on for Max and or Wes to join us for that, because they are really plugged in, calling the games over there. Let me just update this. May River 9, Beaufort 8. That's a tough L for the Eagles. Yeah. Okay. But here we go. We can do this, because guess who was at the softball game tonight? He doesn't have a highlight yet. Dang, I was going to do the highlights. Our boy Javon is back on the case.
That's right.
It took him a while to get his bearings. Yeah, he was back a couple nights ago with the Hilton Head Bluffton baseball game on Monday, and then tonight he was out at the tank doing the softball game, Sharks against Bluffton. So great to see Javon back out and about, and more broadcasts coming out on Beaufort's own. So check them out. I know they're only streaming. I saw an announcement. He's only streaming on YouTube right now. Just the other platforms weren't drawing enough traffic to really be worth it. So just streaming it to YouTube, check it out there. And I believe there's going to be a subscription fee coming for out of town and playoff games, which is only fair. And I think it was 99 cents a month or something like that. Really, really just crazy affordable. So support Javon and Beaufort's own, because it's a very cool thing that we have that not everybody has. Somebody wanting to go out and broadcast some games like that. And hopefully we'll be able to expand that, scale that up in the future and have more games broadcasting every night, whether it's on the Huddle Fan or wherever. And check that out, by the way, fans. If you don't know about fan.huddle.com, get on there and poke around. You might find out that some team you're interested in following has a live stream going on their games, and you can watch it.
And by the way, I want to piggyback off what you just said, JJ, because I'm around people all the time that are asking about what WHHI does during football, basketball, and obviously is the chief voice of both. I explained we've got a production crew. I've got my color commentators. We've got Larry, who gives us a bunch of info and whatnot. I mean, we're a small crew, theoretically, but we make it look, with all of us and our skill sets, we make it look, obviously, not to toot our own horns here, but it's a high level production.
Right.
Javon's doing everything unless he gets somebody once in a while to help him with, the camera, or if he gets somebody or a couple other people to do the bulk of the work calling the game, like Max and I did,
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
playoffs. I did play by play. Max and he were on color. He was doing a bunch of the technical sides of things. But when that doesn't happen, it's a
Yeah.
one-man
One man
band.
band. Yeah.
That's
One man
it.
band tonight.
I
And
mean,
he
I was
was,
even out with him, back in the fall doing college stuff, doing the NSAC championship game
oh,
in
yeah.
Georgia. I did play by play, he did color, and he was, taking pictures and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. So
Yeah.
for the fact that he has to charge, I mean, it kind of makes sense
Yeah.
because he's traveling all. You were telling me earlier, how much I travel with my extracurriculars
Mhm.
plus work. That man put
Yeah.
some tread on his tires.
Yeah. Takes it
Faux
off his
show.
tires. Yeah. He takes it off his
Yeah.
tires.
No
But,
kidding.
no doubt. And
Kudos to him.
we should all
It's
support him. He's good people.
absolutely.
And he was doing it all tonight and eating a hot dog all at the same time. He had it on
Love
lock
it.
though, checking out some softball. So go over to Buford's Own on YouTube. You can check out the game and surely later the highlights from the May River Bluffton game. Sharks took that one 14-4. They're still undefeated in region, and they've tested themselves pretty well with some out of region stuff. So we'll see what kind of run they can make in the playoffs. I don't know that they have like the high end pitcher that really can carry you deep, but they have a couple of pretty good ones in Swafford and Nagel. So hopefully they can go pretty deep in the playoffs. They can definitely swing it. They got some hitters in that lineup. I think score some runs. So
I remember from seeing them last year. That's a fine team.
Yeah,
definitely a fine program. It's real
JP2 has really come on this year too.
I can't wait to see them.
They've built that program up, and they are looking very good this year. And now Skeeza softball is a wild landscape though, because you wouldn't think it with those small schools, but you got some deals where like it's a whole travel ball team that goes to the same school, and like they're good. And some of them country places, like I don't know which ones are the best right now, but there's always a couple of places that have a whole travel ball team enrolled in their school, and they are a problem. And so we'll see what that and that tournament is like. Is kind of like the other Skeeza tournaments, like the volleyball tournament, where it all takes place in one place in 2 days. So it's kind of hard for us because you hate to invest that much, and you don't know your team might not make it very far or whatever. So always tough for us, but we'll try to do our best to keep pace. And of course, Game Changer helps a ton. What a great advent. What a great addition Game Changer has been to our lives. I can keep pace with all kinds of baseball and softball games all the time and know what's going on and stats and everything else. Super cool. We need more tools like that are widely adopted. What else we got here? Well, I don't know when these guys are coming back, Marcus. So
yeah,
I'm gonna have to start talking a little USCB on them. Here we go.
I will say that I talk a lot about, certainly with football and basketball, about max preps and all the additions that are being made with them. And I hope to gain more information even as we get into the fall in the not terribly distant future, but it's enough of a distant future as of now. Just in terms of what they're doing with their stuff, for football, basketball, you name it. And yeah, the more technology that can be equipped, and we've talked about it. We've got some other guys possibly in the pipeline with WHHI further on down the line that could possibly help us, interns and that type of thing. It's all about trying to get information correlated and kind of connected so we can get that out to you or tell you folks where to find the information succinctly. And it's great to see that different sports are starting to adapt a little bit more creatively because we all have the same goal, getting you all
Max
the
Preps is
information that we can.
amazing. Max Preps is the life force of it all for sure. And what they've done a great job of is what they do a great job of is recognizing when those new softwares pop up and gain popularity, and figuring out how to work them into the API. So like, because we use Game Changer, our Game Changer now connects automatically to our Max Preps, and so it'll import this game stats and everything automatically, the score and everything. I don't have to go to Max Preps and do that. It just pulls it from Game Changer. It's connected it. So they do a really
Is
good
that just
job
with
of.
the spring sports that's
Yeah,
set
that's
up, or is that a
Game
played on
Changer.
thing?
Well, Game Changer is, I mean, it's its own app, which Dick's now
Yep.
actually owns. But baseball and softball are its bread and butter. That's where it started, but it's added more sports now. It just hasn't really been widely adopted by those other sports. But baseball and softball,
Yep.
it's the go-to. Everybody's got it, and Max Preps recognizing that, partnered with them to link them up so that you can select when you create your Max Preps, you can select, oh yeah, this is my team on Game Changer, and it'll sync them up and automatically import your stuff. So it's super cool. And I know they do that with Huddle as well. You can link your Huddle too. So now
That's
not
another one.
everybody uses all of those features that are available, but
Correct.
the features are there. And so I
It's-
think we're getting closer to people understanding it.
and doing play-by-play for fall and winter sports, football and basketball exclusively, and then dabbling in spring where I can and where given the opportunities. That's where we're finding sometimes it's difficult to find a certain roster or a set of stats on a certain guy or girl just because of the availability. Some teams use one more than the other, or vice
Right.
versa, what have you. But we're all trying to work for the same common goal.
Yep. Max has rejoined us. Max, we were just about to start talking a little USCB. Baseball ended up taking 2 of 3 from Claflin. A little disappointing to let that one get away 8-7, certainly, but they take a little. It's a little disappointing. I was downplaying it a bit, but they get 2 out of 3. Softball, though, looking good. They took 1 out of 3 from North Georgia, and then a big day at the Yard yesterday, 12-2 and 13-2 over Edward Waters, and you were on the call. So tell us about that.
Yeah, obviously they were coming off I would say a successful series against North Georgia, despite only winning 1 out of 3. That is the number 3 team in the country in North Georgia, so they are a very solid softball team to get even a win against that team. And we remember last season when those two teams played against each other at USCB. USCB took 2 out of 3 to get themselves into the conference tournament to face North Georgia in the first round, which they lost that game by only 1 run. So these two teams have some history over the last couple seasons. So it was good to see USCB get a win on the road at Dahlonega over North Georgia. Obviously, the 2 other games they played may not look close, but if you pay enough attention to it, they were very hard fought games by USCB. That North Georgia team is just a beast in and of itself. And then you come into this doubleheader they had against Edward Waters yesterday. We were expecting to see the offense do their things and really what they do. And I think Kodieski has taught them well in this aspect is they are really good at getting deep into counts when they're at the plate. I think they had probably 5 or 6 full counts in that first game and probably 5 more in the second game. They just know how to really make the pitcher work for it. Every out that the pitcher gets is a hard-earned out when you're having to go against this USCB softball team.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate being a tough out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think USCB baseball, when they beat USC Aiken, took a page out of Kodieski's book. I mean, they got deep into counts in that game, and look where it got them. It got them opportunities to score runs, and I think that's really the MO of this softball team is they're fast on the base pass, but they'll make you work for every out if you're the pitcher.
Speaking of fast on the base paths, I have to use that segue.
Yes,
I had this queued up.
Kate Conway.
She
Single season.
fast. She fast,
Yep.
fast.
Whoa.
26
Good
season,
grief.
26 on the season.
That's a
She is
single
the
season
single
record.
season record.
Yep. She is, I believe, now 24 stolen bases away from the career record. So she's got quite a few more bases to steal if she wants to get there. But I wouldn't put it past her. She is one of the fastest runners I've seen in my time covering USCB softball. I mean, literally 9 times out of 10, she'll put a bunt down and get to first without even getting scratched. So, like, it's just she's just such a fast player, and she's been so great at the plate this year. She's hitting above 500 on the season as a hitter.
I feel pretty confident she'll get that career record if she sticks around at USCB because she's only a freshman.
Yeah, that's my point. Like she's on her way there. She's well on her way there. She is just a really special player as a freshman too. I mean, that was a great recruit that Cody Eske picked up, and she's really showing it. I mean, I think she came into yesterday, I think, with like a 545 batting average. So she knows how to get on base. Her on base percentage is through the roof.
No, she's only hitting. She's way down to 510 now.
Oh no!
What are we gonna do?
She's really falling off.
Oh no!
Oh no, she didn't get to first in time on one of them. Like seriously though, that is her MO. She hits or bunts little dribblers down and just sprints down the first base line as quickly as she can, and hence why that batting average is there. Because 9 times out of 10, she will get on base. I mean, that is how good she is and how fast she is going down that first base path. Obviously, with her 26 stolen base in that series against Edward Waters. But it wasn't just her. I mean, Caitlin Boyette in the second game in the 13-2 victory had 5 RBIs in that game. And when she had the opportunities to score runs, she did it every time in that second game. 5, like I said, 5 RBIs. She had a really good day. Cassie Brundage had a really good outing on the mound in game 1. They went to Fisher for game 2. So Madison Murphy had a bit of rest through the doubleheader. So she'll be ready to go. Excuse me, for the weekend series, which we'll get to in a minute, which is, by the way, a huge series. So, but look, it's a really good 2 games against Edward Waters, which means they have, I believe, have swept Edward Waters on the season. They did not lose a game to Edward Waters this year, so really solid wins. 25 runs over 2 games for USCB, and 4 runs were scored against them in that doubleheader. So really just that the USCB offense doing what they do best, getting on base by any means necessary, and scoring runs when the opportunities are there. And they definitely were there yesterday. And, if Wes was here, he'd say the same thing. So really good doubleheader win over Edward Waters. Real confidence booster going into what is going to be one of the biggest series of the season for both baseball and softball. This is going to be the biggest series, I think, on the season. USCB taking on the newcomers in the Peach Belt Conference, Middle Georgia, and what should be a really good game. Both of them are coming into this conference series with 5 wins apiece in conference play. So whoever gets out of this series as the series winner will have sole possession of that final spot in the Peach Belt Conference for the Peach Belt Conference tournament. So whoever gets out of this and continues to play well on the season, this could be the decider for who gets into the conference tournament with that last spot. So this is a big series. Madison Murphy, expect her to be on the mound for in the circle, for game 1, and probably game 3 as well. I would expect to see either Cassie Brundage or Emily Morgan in the circle for game 2. So this is a big series. USCB, if they play like they did yesterday, I don't see why they won't win this series. This is a USCB team who I think is starting to find their stride right now, and I think they're ready to go for this series.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that's I was going to pull up the standings, and then I got sidetracked doing something else because I was trying to remember. Man, I swear Barbara Phillips had more stolen bases than that in a season. But
I know, I asked Andrew when we were sitting up there. I was like, "How far away is she from career?" because I feel like if she's a freshman, she is well on her way to getting there. So
Yeah.
And I believe he said 24. I'm wondering about that. I wonder if that was tonight. Sorry, Kevin Libby just posted a comment on the on the stream regarding USCB. I believe Gina Montford was talking in front of the Beaufort County Council tonight, I guess, or today at some point.
He would know. He probably covered it.
He was on the camera.
Yeah,
he should know. He was there.
He was there. Oh, that's right. She was talking today. She was talking about. I'm assuming part of it was the 2020 project, which we've already mentioned. The Beaufort County Council, I believe, gave $11 million towards the Convocation Center, the future basketball arena for USCB. So I'm sure they're trying to get this project funded, obviously, which we've mentioned before is a big project. But like I said, that USCB softball has got a big series coming up. I believe the baseball team is playing a non-conference 3-game series against Eckerd College, which that's going to be a tough one for them. I've been looking at rankings and stuff. Eckerd College is sitting, last time I checked, they were sitting right outside the top 25 rankings for baseball this season. So that's going to be a pretty tough matchup for USCB. A good challenge for them, but a very tough matchup coming up this weekend.
Is that at home or on the road?
That is on the road. I believe they're in Florida for that one. If I'm remembering, Eckerd College is in. It's not St. Petersburg. Right. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in Florida. I know that.
I'll tell you.
So it's going to be quite an interesting road trip for them. Honestly, they would have swept that series against Claflin had Claflin not walked off on them in Game 3. Wes texted me saying it was a walk-off homer against Claflin. Otherwise, they would have swept that series.
St. Petersburg. You were right. St. Petersburg.
Is it St. Petersburg? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be down in the Tampa Bay area for the upcoming weekend series, non-conference against Eckerd College. So we'll see how they do, and then I believe they have one or two more series in conference play that they have yet to play yet. Maybe one. I'm trying to remember. I don't have the schedule in front of me. So,
wow, it sure was. USCB scored 4 in the top of the ninth to take a 7-5 lead, and then 3-run homer in the bottom by Claflin. Wow, that's something else.
Yeah, and I will say this. Wes did text me that, and I would tell you by the way I was reading that text, he wasn't happy. But I don't blame him. That's a really tough way to lose a series sweeping, clinching win. If you're USCB, that's a tough way to lose that one. But by the way, cool stadium they play at. I don't know if any of you who are listening know where Claflin plays. They play at I can't remember what the field's called.
Mermo.
Yeah, Miramar Field, right. Obviously very historic field built in, I believe, 1948. Very, very cool field. I've been on that field before. I had the opportunity of playing there a couple times. It's a really cool baseball facility. A little bit run down, but it kind of gives the historic look to it with it being a little run down. But it's a really cool facility that Claflin gets to play at, and it's got a lot of history to it. So. But yeah, it's look who's joined into the show. Wes
Good things come with age.
Well, look what the cat dragged.
Yes. Hope I'm not too late. Man?
Oh no, yeah, no, you're not too late. I mean,
we're still here.
Most of the things, but not for all the things. But no, we were just talking. We were wrapping up talking about USCB, all things USCB, for the most part. Although we didn't, other than mentioning it, we didn't mention again that Tyler Gundelfinger was the Peachville Conference Baseball Player of the Week.
Oh, actually, there is one other thing. I don't know if you guys saw. I'm sure you did. USCB track and field was ranked, I believe, by the coaches' rankings 26th in the country right now, from what I saw. And they had posted it on USCB's social media page on Instagram.
Awesome.
if
Yeah,
I'm
they
remembering
post a lot
correctly.
on day.
So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, there it
and
is, 26th.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
That's the
pretty,
men. Yeah, that's the men.
that's pretty
So,
great. And then obviously the men's golf team was last I checked. I haven't looked at the latest region rankings, but they were sitting in the top 10 for region rankings for men's golf. And of course,
yeah,
coming up right around the corner is the Peach Belt Conference tournament that will take place for men's golf. It's I believe, is it next week? It might be next. Either it's next week or it's this week. I'll have
coming
to
up
look.
soon.
I'll have to look while we're going through parting thoughts.
But Gundelfinger.
Yeah, big boy Gundy.
Yes.
Gundy / the gunslinger.
Boy,
he
he's
scored
really
6
coming into
runs,
his
had
own.
9 hits, 4 doubles, slugged 867, and had 8
Wow.
RBIs in 4 games.
Now I will say they played 3 games against Claflin, so it does inflate this. But
they still lost to Claflin.
I will say that they recognize. I mean, I don't. And my second point is that it's hard to do it against anybody. And on top of that, the Peach Belt recognized that. He had a terrific week, and it's good to see. I mean, that's some excitement generated within this program to have a player of the week. That type of honor is really good to see from that team. Gundelfinger is someone who, a little bit flying under the radar. Like, we haven't really talked about him that much. He's had a couple of up and down points of the year. But it's been good to see him have a week like that, and maybe he can carry that towards the end of the season.
Well, I mean, Wes, I was going to say, Wes, you and I have seen him over the last few weeks. Yeah. He's really come into his own as the season's continued. He's really started to show his true colors, and it's been really fun to watch.
Yep. No doubt, but it will be a non-conference matchup this week at Eckerd.
Down in St. Petersburg.
That's a pretty good Eckerd team, so they're going to be challenged certainly.
They're very solid.
This weekend, so looking forward to seeing how they do 2 Saturday and 1 Sunday. So that's
two of those track and field studs got honored as well. Sam Mitchell was the field athlete of the week. He sets records every week, it seems like. Second in the triple jump, school record, hit the provisional mark. And Ja'Cory Herring was the track athlete of the week. He won the 400 hurdles in 51:46, school record number 3 in the nation.
Wow,
good stuff.
Yeah, those two are well on their way if they continue doing that, putting up numbers like that. They're well on their way to potentially
fantastic
into nationals.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah,
outstanding.
And then Wes, were you? I know you were busy last night. You didn't make it to that signing ceremony by chance, did you?
No, I was of course covering USCB softball, and that happened. Although I do have some info from it. I don't know if we.
Yeah, I know.
I have a list of all of the signees. If
you got them all, yeah, go ahead.
I got them all. I got them all with me. So let's run through that real quick. Now that I am, I have the list with me. Thanks to our good friend,
Mary Beth.
Yes, Mary Beth Lawrence. Yes. But I have the full list here of signees from. If I can find it here, I sent it a text. I believe yesterday. If I can find it. Just 1 second. But yeah, a good list of a very good list of signees from. Okay, here we go. So some schools that might not be top of the line, but it's like we always say, it's an honor to get an opportunity to play no matter where you go. Santino Bambeck for golf heading to Pfeiffer. Mona Pfister for track and field going to the Citadel. Kat Gavin. Sorry,
that's a pole vaulter.
Yes, she's a pole vaulter. Yes, Kat Gavin going to play golf at the University of South Sewanee. Will Jimenez, we've talked about a lot on the football field. Terrific defensive player. He is going to play at North Park University. Lake and Little will be
Lake and Little
heading to Francis Marion to play soccer. Julia McKenna, track and field and cross country at the University of Tampa. How about this one? Brooke Nicholas heading to USCB for golf.
That's right.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that.
Yes, Gracie Pufel is going to play volleyball at the University of New Haven. And then 2 more. Tyler Weideman is going to play football at Case Western Reserve University,
which is a legit school,
yeah,
by the way.
that is. That's big time stuff, or at least a school where it's an honor to play for them, and he has been such an important piece of a Seahawk program, which has really defied all expectations. Especially last year, what they did, and then finally, last but not least, Josh Gordillo heading to Winthrop to run cross country and track and field. So a really nice, a big time list of Seahawks. And, we think back throughout what has happened this year with just with the tragedy of Montmagny and to see what these students have done, because when I think of these signing ceremonies, you think of Joe Montmagny because he loved to be a part of it with these kids. And of course, I wasn't able to make it, but certainly you felt his absence there if you were there, because he was always had a smile on his face, and he loved these signing ceremonies. So he loved being a part of those.
Yep. And shout out again to BJ Payne for finding a couple more guys, a place where they can apply their trade and get an education. And both of them, I don't know much about North Park University, but I know Will Jimenez is a tremendous young man, and he's going to make the most of it. And then obviously Case Western is a world-class academic institution. And the whole idea is, 4 years to set you up for the next 40. And Wiedemann is winning big on that one, going to Case Western. He's going to be set up quite well. So bravo to all those kids for seeing it through. It's just, it takes a tremendous amount of commitment, and you really have to prove to the coaches that you are committed to wanting to be there. A lot of kids don't really understand the recruiting process until they get into it, and some of them even not then. But kudos to those kids for understanding what it is and finding the spot that makes sense for them. And maybe they don't stay there and play for 4 years, but at least they won't have the regret of not knowing what it would have looked like. So best wishes to them, and go be great. Go be great. That's all. All right, let's shout out some sponsors and get on out of here with our parting thoughts. We got Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, and we had a good episode last night. The boys were in rare form, talking about the NCAA tournament, all the coaching changes, and much more. So check that out. And when you want seafood sunsets and cocktails, go to Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, right on Skull Creek on Hilton Head Island. Beautiful place, great food, and a great community institution. Also, we've got HHI Windows and Doors. Our old friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep hung up his whistle. He's focused on a new kind of screens, improving your view of the Lowco at HHI Windows and Doors. If you need a personal injury attorney, especially over in Beaufort, we got Twinge and Twombly on the line. They've got a rare name, but they provide remarkable service at Twinge and Twombly. And Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and the place to be if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level in the Lowco. They're presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. And finally, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not, is Jay's Barbershop. Check them out downtown and say hi to the guys for us. You might see one time Tony O'Banner. Who knows who might be in there at Jay's Barbershop. But that brings us to our parting thoughts. And Wes, you joined us late, so I'll let you lead us off there.
Yeah, just catching up on what I missed first and foremost as I look through what has happened of note. Lots of baseball going on. Hilton Head.
Yeah,
Hilton Head is.
I'll update that May River score because they ended up winning it 9-8.
Seahawks are looking good. I'm impressed by the resolve. That comeback win on Monday at Bluffton, where they were down, I believe 3-0 or so in that game. I was watching them, courtesy of Beaufort's own, and that Hilton Head offense, really scrappy bunch. I've been quite impressed. But that May River Beaufort score, wow! I'm for as much as Beaufort struggled early, good to see them competitive against May River, but the Sharks just continue to find a way to hang on and win some big games in this region.
Yeah, they were down to their last out. Managed to get it into extras. Beaufort played well tonight. They really did. They're better than that record would indicate.
Yeah. Obviously, it's around that spring break time, so we had kind of that lull in boys and girls soccer, at least for the time being, and then we'll definitely be hitting it hard after Heritage time. But yeah, my second parting thought, well, it's Masters week. The Masters
Yes.
begins
Indeed.
tomorrow, and I believe I saw something where it's the first Masters in a long time without Tiger and Phil. No Tiger, no
94.
Phil. Yeah,
94.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That was the last time without either one of them.
Crazy.
So, yeah.
I'm looking at
I mean,
the odds.
it's been over for the Tiger Phil era has been over
Right.
for a while, but this is definitely like a slamming of the book. Like you don't come back.
So the era has. Well, I mean, he had his redemption story a couple years ago, which was good, like a good closing chapter, I guess, in terms of his story there. Obviously, he definitely could play again, but certainly he's crazy things can happen. But I think we all agree that his time is pretty much past at this point. It's certainly a new era, but the new age of golf brings a new crop of talent. I mean, no surprise, Scotty Scheffler leading the field in odds. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, who finally got it done. DeChambeau, Oberg, Schauffele, Young, Fleetwood, Fitzpatrick, Morikawa, and Rose. Your top contenders, which you definitely expect to see those names at the top of the list.
It's a good list.
Yeah.
Was Oberg in there?
Oberg was
Yes.
fifth. Oberg.
Okay, I was going to
fifth,
say
plus
he's got to be up
$1,600
there.
to win the green jacket. So, this is
Who you got? Who you got, Wes?
Ooh.
It's hard for me to go against Scotty. I mean, he's
he's the easy pick, but I feel like I'll go the contrary route and go John Rahm. I feel like this is a tournament where you really want to see more from him, and I feel like when he puts it all together, he can be very difficult to knock out. If he's able to stay in contention towards Sunday. So I'm trying to battle allergies. So
no, I feel you there.
You are all good,
everybody
man.
is right now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to battle allergies
time
and
during the day. We all are.
at the same time, and it's never easy. But yes, I'm excited to see how it plays out, and really just how it continues into Heritage Week and how the storylines develop. A lot of the storylines of Heritage.
Salute.
A lot of the stories about the Heritage kind of develop in Masters Week because the Heritage is such a big time event now that when you see the press conferences come into Heritage, it's all about what happened at the Masters and a lot of momentum built from the Masters. So we definitely keep a keen eye. Well, everyone keeps a keen eye, but certainly here at the Heritage because we're up next. So
I
love this time of year. Watch the Masters leading right to the Heritage. So looking forward to that, and then. Finally, I got back pretty late because I got to go see. I went to the theaters to see Project Hail Mary, which certainly, fantastic. If you have not seen it, terrific story. And
I heard it's a good.
Looks
movie.
good.
Looks good. It looks good. So highly recommend. It was a good watch, and I thought the technical aspect of it, I thought was really well done. The acting was fantastic. So I'm trying to remember who the lead.
Ryan Reynolds, right?
Ryan Reynolds. Yes. Dr. Grace. Yeah. So,
looks good. I saw Super Mario Brothers Galaxy.
I gotta go watch it. I have to go watch that movie.
It was pretty fun. We went as the fam. Good stuff, Wes. Marcus Walsh, what do you got, bud?
I think I'll start off, and I'll go Scotty to win the Masters.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, I mean, look,
safe bet. Smart bet.
When I think about Scotty, I think there were a couple of years in the peak of Tiger Woods where we're saying, is it Tiger or is it the field?
Right.
They haven't really had a golfer to get to that level since
Rory
him.
got close.
Rory got
Rory
close,
got
but I don't think
close, but he
was
never
never
got
there. I
there.
don't think he was
Right.
never at that Scotty echelon from where he is right now. And he's
For
been
sure.
great. He's been great for the game to see just his excellence out there and his character. You know, there's been some interesting moments throughout the years, but what Scotty has done on the course certainly has grown more attention to the game.
Right.
Because there were a couple of years where we're kind of looking for that next star to take over, and because you got the Tiger and the Phil names, ending their just eras, I guess you could say, and there and with the whole live situation, there's been a lot of
Yes. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
That's
All
for
right.
sure.
turmoil in golf the last couple of years. No doubt about
Yeah.
that. So,
All right. So Marcus is on Scotty.
I'm on Scotty again. Great night over at the Great Celebration Park on the south end of Hilton Head. I was on Hilton Head all day at the south end yesterday to sing for the Symphony Under the Stars. A lot of just
traffic.
the traffic was something, both by foot and by vehicle.
Oh my god!
And bicycle as well.
Yeah, I'm hearing the island's already hopping.
Oh,
It's
it
hopping.
is. It was
It
packed.
is.
I work
Movies
there. I
today.
work there all day. I work on the south end all day long, like Marcus does. And the traffic around that New Orleans Road section on the south end of Hilton Head has been a living nightmare.
I have to say, I am glad that I don't have to, battle it as much as we used to with the fact that we're at the Bridge Center, but still getting down there. But it's why we do what we do, and we are a tourist destination, so we're happy to have you all here.
As much as there are times where there's a lot of tourists on the island, and sometimes you want to have there are times when you have your Easter in the year, but I love it. There's that buzz that comes that really starts in March when tennis and all that stuff gets going, and it continues to heritage. So it's a cool time of year around here.
Big tournament next week for sure, and certainly congrats to everybody with everything going on the last week or so. And I listened to my Cleveland Guardians a good bit today. They're 8-5, top of the AL Central. They took 2 out of 3 from your Chicago Cubs, JJ. Sorry about that. But they're getting after it. They haven't been playing their best baseball yet.
Guess who they got next?
And they've got Atlanta next, starting on Friday. I think they keep on doing it. They'll be battling for a series win in the ATL.
That should be a really good series too, because both teams will be coming into that series with an 8-5 record. So it's going to be a
great series of pitching too.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Every matchup's going to be huge.
Grant Holmes.
Think there'll be any fights?
Yep.
You never know. I mean, hopefully not. But you wouldn't think that with a Cleveland Guardians team, but you don't know.
Hey, don't hate on Ramirez, dude. He can throw some.
That's right. Down goes Anderson, still in the ether.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Obviously, great stuff out of the guards. They're playing well. The starting pitching's been great, and they're scratching enough runs. Today, they had an output, though, scoring 10. Angel Martinez with his best game as a Major League Baseball player with a grand slam in the 8th inning. I think it was the 8th inning. A couple of other big hits. I think he had a double, a couple of singles, the granny in the 8th, and big 10-2 wins. So feeling good down here as a Guards fan and in the good old Low Country.
Yeah, I mean it's April 8th, so a long way to go, but certainly it's better to start the way you have than the way Boston has started. Although they did,
I was just talking to Jeff Riley about them the other day.
Although they just shut out Milwaukee 5-0 today, so maybe
that's a big win.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
They will get some momentum into the weekend. So, Guardians off to a good start. Who else is off to a good start?
Braves are too.
Yeah, Braves
still in the lead.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? And I was going to mention this in my part and thoughts is Braves have had struggles with their starting rotation this year. They got injuries to Spencer Strider and multiple other starters in their rotation. Yet somehow their pitching coming into today is the best in baseball right now. They have the best ERA in baseball. They have like best strikeout walk rate in baseball right now. It's unbelievable to see that team's doing so well.
Yeah, I knew that they, they've had a couple of years where injuries have been a big factor. They haven't been able to keep everyone else, but if they're playing, with the key guys still intact, especially in the pitching staff. I think that's the key for Atlanta because the pitching
They're gonna
staff
be down one more come this next week.
But that National League East, man, with Atlanta,
God.
how about the Marlins 7-5? I mean,
Marlins, man, they started off 5-1. Well, where did they come from? Where did this?
I don't
and the
expect
Nats are a
Miami
lot better too.
We'll see. I mean, they could be a foil in that division for sure.
That's a scary division. It is a scary division.
It is. Of course, the Dodgers and Yankees are off to great starts. The Reds look good.
Everyone in the NL Central is 500 or better.
I know. I'm scared of the Reds.
Reds off to a good start.
The Reds are a good young club, and now they got Tito. I'm worried about it.
Oh my goodness!
Shout out to my buddy Patrick Vlasic, one of the biggest Cincinnati Reds fans I know from back in our days at Ashland University.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway.
Anyway, moving along. Max Farage, you got?
I think you know the video that you're about to show.
Yeah, let's see this.
I mean, I pulled that up because I figured you were probably going there.
The story of the week, honestly, it can't not be. There's the pitch, up and in, whole situation there, and then out of nowhere. I was watching this game too. I watched the entire game, so I watched as it happened. And next thing you know, during the replay, the best part is when they come out from the replay.
So it pops off during the replay?
Oh my goodness.
I think it started during the replay, and when you come back from the replay, it's just
they're fighting. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh my!
Solair's throwing hands.
Goodness gracious!
So there's a lot.
Here we go.
Solaire was throwing hands, man.
Went to a baseball game. And
I just picked up Solaire on my fantasy team too, and now he's going to get suspended.
Yeah. So actually, before I get into the whole situation there,
I love when the guys come running in from the bullpen.
Yeah.
Though. Like they after the fight's over.
Yeah. When the bench is clear and the bullpen, then you know it's real.
Dude,
the fight's already over. The bullpen comes running.
Well, the bullpen's just coming on like when everyone's finally starting to.
Yeah. So
Walt Weiss can still get after it too,
dude. Yeah. All right. So actually,
what is that dude
going into this? So I
shoot.
Well, first of all, I should mention both Renato Lopez and Jorge Soler were both suspended for 7 games. They both appealed today, so they both at least Jorge Soler played today against the Braves. So we'll see how that goes. I doubt the appeals are going to win, but yeah, look at that.
That's a weak fight. Yeah. Nobody even landed anything good.
Oh, he hit him with a baseball. He had a baseball in his hand. And smacked
yeah, Lopez had the ball in his hand.
Smacked Soler across the face with it.
But they were both. I mean, no.
Here's the big one.
But he had his helmet on, so it didn't hurt.
Wait for it. Who takes him down? None other than Walt Weiss.
Yeah, Walt Weiss.
Walt Weiss, true tackling form. And the Atlanta Falcons decided to have a little bit of fun with it today. This morning when I woke up to the social media, here they go. That's on their official social media page.
Oh, this was their that was their account. The Falcons.
Yeah,
that wasn't like wow, that's fantastic.
I
love it. I love it.
I was expecting maybe
I thought it was gonna be one of those meme
wrestling belt.
Yeah,
it was just such a crazy moment. And the funniest thing is after the interviews, obviously Soler and Walt Weiss have huge respect for each other because obviously Soler was on the Braves back in 2021 when they won the World Series. He was a big help. Obviously, that massive homer in Game 6.
Yeah,
2-time World Series champion.
Back.
Yes,
the other thing was Walt Weiss was on that coaching staff at the time. I believe he was a hidden coach at the time for the Atlanta Braves.
The bench coach, one of the.
Yes, he was a bench coach. That's right. So like it was just a whole situation there, and I when I saw that Atlanta Falcons post this morning, I died laughing. It made me laugh so hard. But
so put him down.
Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt Walt Weiss was a wrestler back in the day. He looks
Yeah.
like a wrestler.
I was
wouldn't doubt
thinking,
it.
you know,
Wouldn't doubt
with
it.
the WW, just add an
No,
F
the
there.
name sounds like a
Or
wrestler.
an E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's so obviously that whole situation happened. Atlanta, you know, both Lopez and Jorge Soler got 7-game suspension. They both appealed, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure that nothing's going to happen there. They're both going to be suspended 7 games, and that's the end of that.
Yep.
So I may have missed something. I don't think I did, but what started it? With the fact that they were,
apparently,
you know, doing the
chirping.
replay.
They just started chirping at each other, and
that's
then
it?
Lopez gave him this, so Soler said, "Okay."
Here's the other thing. From what I remember, those two have had some history with each other.
Okay.
So that was part of it, and then he threw an up and in fastball at him.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if he meant it or not, but then they started chirping at each other, and that whole situation just kind of backfired. They started chirping. Jorge starts running at him, and boom, there we go. Fight starts out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I
in a
would guess
way,
I would
it was
guess that a
kind of
lot
like
of words were
the
exchanged
Jose
in
Ramirez, Tim
Espanol.
Anderson situation.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would guess
pretty
a lot
much.
was exchanged in Espanol, and somebody challenged someone's manhood, and the other one said, "Oh yeah," and then they went.
Yeah, and they went at it. But I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to fight Jorge Soler. That's a big dude,
heck
man.
no.
That's a big dude.
That's a
and then
that's a powerful
what does he do?
man.
I'm not fighting
obviously
any major
he
league.
got the suspension 15 minutes before the game, then he immediately repealed, so he could play today, and he did. And what does he do in the first inning? Mashes a 2-run homer to put the Angels ahead, and then the Braves kind of stopped them from there. Grant Holmes was amazing on the mound for the Braves today. He went 6 2/3 innings. He sat down after struggling in the second inning. He sat down 10 in a row, and no one could touch him. Almost went the full 7 innings for them, and I thought he was well on his way. If he kept breezing through, he might have ended up going with a complete game, but hit that 100 pitch mark right around there in the 7th inning. So they took him out, and that was it. Gave the bullpen a break today, but yeah, I look at these fights have happened before. We've seen them happen. These two players or two teams, like the Blue Jays and the Texas Rangers back in the day.
I mean, the best ever was Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura, but
yeah.
Oh God, just knocking them to the ground. You know,
the amount of blood.
You know, it is what it is. After the game, during interviews, both teams, you know, it wasn't much after that. It was really just a couple between two players, and you know, both Soler and Walt Weiss said they have major respect for each other. So, you know, Walt Weiss basically said he tackled him so that he wouldn't cause any more damage because he really looked. I mean, Jorge Soler was really on a warpath. So, like Walt Weiss basically tackled the living hell out of him to stop him from.
Yeah, you got to get him on the ground. You got to.
So anyway, that's pretty much the story of the week. Obviously, Tiger Woods is my favorite to win the Masters this year, and I'm just kidding. I actually kind of like Colin Morikawa. I think
I thought about him too.
And I feel like he's due for a win. And I feel like he would be focused enough to come into this week and try to make some hay, maybe come out with a win. I kind of like Colin in this situation, but I wouldn't put it past Scotty Scheffler. I mean, that is really the safe bet in the Masters.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. Obviously, first round starts tomorrow, so it's going to be really exciting to watch. And I'm excited. It's Masters week, fellas. I love
the Masters, man.
I've always how about Gary Player? I was watching a little bit of the par 3 and whatever else
plays,
going on.
He still got it.
I saw Gary Player. I was over at Street Meet watching some of the coverage on the Golf Channel. Gary Player, 90 years young, and I emphasize young.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude. Wow.
Actually, speaking of golf, did y'all see? Obviously, I believe it was Gary Woodland had won the
what a story.
Texas Open.
Love it.
What a story that was. Obviously he had brain surgery. I think it was a tumor that they had removed. And he obviously they didn't know if he was really going to get his motor functions back and to be able to play golf again, you know. And it took him years to get it back to where he is now, and getting his first PGA Tour win just a few years later after after that massive brain surgery that he had.
Yeah.
What a great story! And of
Absolutely
course, he's going to
phenomenal.
be at the Masters this week as well, with that win at the I think it was the Houston Open or something.
That's
Texas
right.
Open.
Nobody has a bad word to say about Gary Woodland either.
No,
Not
never.
one.
Fantastic. and
Everybody
I,
loves that guy.
I remember, I believe he won the U.S. Open at Pebble a couple years ago.
Yes, he
Yep.
did. Yeah,
Yes.
right before he had to have surgery, he won the U.S.
But
Open.
yeah, I mean, forget golfing. They thought he was going to die. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
he had
that's just
written
that's a tremendous story.
he had written letters
Yeah.
to his children and
Crazy
stuff.
story.
Like he thought he was done, and
Wow.
you know, he's still going through it. And the
Tremendous story.
PTSD is the
Crazy
big thing
story.
now. But what a story.
Wow.
Who will I take? I mean, I think Scotty is the smart bet. But if I were going to go off the board, I'd go fairway Jesus. I'll go Tommy Fleetwood. He's
Ooh,
been in
yeah, that's a
contention
good
there
call.
a bunch of times, and he finally got off the schneid. You know, he got his first PGA
Jesus.
Tour win. I think he's going to come through. That's what they call him, fairway
Let's
Jesus.
Fairway
emphasize
Jesus,
that
I love
he
it.
has been up there
That's-
for a good
Makes me laugh
portion of
every
the last
time.
few years.
He is in the mix about every time.
Also,
Always.
I didn't pick him, but man, I expect another top 5 finish for Oberg. He seems like he's always there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oberg's
Oberg
always there.
seems like a solid pick too. All the under the bus guys like Oberg this week a lot. So
You know, one of the names I was
and
hoping to see the Masters who's not going to be there this year, from what I'm hearing, is Will Zalatoris. I was really hoping he'd get back on his good foot.
he's kind of
fan
fallen
of him.
off, hasn't he?
He's had so many injuries.
Yeah,
That's
he is
the problem,
certainly
though.
not the player that he was.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd get back to form, be ready to go for the Masters, but I don't even think he's going to be there this year, which is unfortunate because I don't even think he made the cut to get even into the Masters because he's had so many injuries, which is unfortunate because I quite like Will Zalatoris.
Ditto.
I do too.
Anyway. A lot of stories going into this one. It's going to be fun.
Do I have anything else for the we didn't mention this yet, but Wes brought it up the other day on the group chat. Jalen Sneed headed back to Notre Dame for his 5th year. So
was he debating about going into the draft, or was he looking at other schools or something like that? What was
I think there was that possibility he could declare for the NFL draft. I don't think
That sounds about right.
I think he's really enjoying Notre Dame. Obviously if something came
unless he already had his degree, it wouldn't make any sense for him to leave.
I don't know if he is a 5th-year student, that would make sense. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he's due for he's gonna have a big year this coming year. I
think
just
so.
have a-
He's had a great career.
yeah,
Yeah.
No
Notre
doubt.
Dame.
He has had a fantastic
Yeah.
career there, and I think he's still in line for a great opportunity to pursue a good career in the league, and try to follow up Puna and
Yep.
set an example, or can you set an example for Hilton Head's football talent, which it's
Prestige.
there's more to come. I feel we'll see, but I feel
Yeah.
like
Hoping to talk to him at the All-American Football Camp in
that's coming up
just
next
a
month.
matter of weeks. It's May 8th to the 10th,
Gosh,
and I'll
that
be
is
there
next
either
month.
Friday or Saturday for sure. And so I'll be filling you guys in on all things happening with that
What's coming up?
and with the station as well.
I missed this. I didn't realize it was Xavier Chaplin. I was just looking at other guys who might be draft prospects. I didn't realize he was at Florida State now.
All right.
Wow.
He left Auburn. He went Virginia Tech to Auburn and now Florida State. So he's cashing in the NIL checks and moving around.
It's a big part of
but-
it these days. If
Heck yeah, it is.
Yep. Oh,
I
I
mean,
mean, that was
he's
not a
free
thing.
agent every year.
It was not
He
a
should
thing when
be-
I was.
if he has a good year too, I expect him next season. If he has a good
Yeah,
year,
he
to
was-
have a shot
He
at the
should be.
draft.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of buzz at times as a potential NFL guy. And then I don't know. I think that's about all I got, boys. I've been enjoying my spring break. It's been very nice. Spring break coming for Beaufort next week, but we'll be back at it tomorrow night. Sharks or Canes hosting Hilton Head Seahawks tomorrow night for softball. So
Nice.
looking forward to
There you
that,
go.
getting back on the field. So
Yep,
thanks,
will be,
boys. It's been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be out of town over the weekend. Just not the reason you'd hope. It's a family member who has passed. So
Sorry to hear that.
not the best reason to
Travel.
the travel, but necessary. So
Well,
I will be
I would
back
say while-
next week. Max will take my place on the Saints Gaming Network for a big softball series
I was
this
going to say,
weekend.
while you're traveling, Wes, you can hear my angelic voice on the Circuit
Yeah.
Network.
10-4.
That's a big series for USCB against Middle Georgia
Sure
State.
is.
Very, very big
Sure
one.
is.
Yeah.
Huge. All right. Well, thanks to all of our sponsors for making it possible. Thanks to all y'all for hanging out with us to hear us ramble on about local sports. Always happy to do it for you. And thank you, fellas, for joining me. Marcus Walsh, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj. I'm Justin Jarrett. We'll be back another night to let you know what's going on around the Loco. So thanks for joining us. And until next time, go Loco.